I bet you thought I was Moyo, huh? Well, I'm her roommate again, but today we're taking a little different detour on the video as she is being an amazing camera woman and she's interviewing all of us for our internships in Ghent.
So tell me, are you ready for your internship? I don't think I am.
So my name is KRITI CHAWLA. I'm 20, recently 20, and I'm working at restaurant SOUVENIR right now, and the next internship I'm going to do is at Buri, which is in Rusalare. So yeah. So I chose Master Talent because I actually thought it gave a very good foundation for interns who are, let's say, not from Europe or Belgium, to be able to work here in many different restaurants actually, and not just, Michelin restaurants, even really high-end Gold Milo restaurants. They're all there, as an availability for us. And I think that's a very good platform to learn, because who knows when we're going to get this opportunity again. And through this place actually, I found my first restaurant SOUVENIR. This is situated in Ghent, and they do really simple, delicious food. They take simple ingredients and just make the most best dishes I've ever tasted. They work a lot with their producers. Everything is very locally, grown and sourced, even their bread. And I really like their ethic of how everything should be really, seasonal and local to where everything comes from. It really represents the location that they're in as well. And and they work with mostly seafood and vegetables, which I found was quite interesting actually. So yeah. So now my greatest worry or fear, it might seem very trivial, but it was actually going all the way from Geneva to this place with 2 big suitcases and 1 tiny trolley, because when you're traveling on internships, you're bringing your entire house practically. 1 suitcase for clothes, 1 suitcase for cooking equipment. And for me, as a very tiny human that I am, it was quite difficult, lugging everything. It takes a lot of energy. So I guess that was a bit challenging, but considering this was my second internship, not any fears as such. So yeah. So when comparing, my last internship was at Fairmont, Le Montreux Palace, and I was working in the pastry department as well as at the Montreux Jazz Cafe. Montreux Jazz Cafe was for around 2.5 months. And so if we compare that restaurant to, let's say, restaurant SOUVENIR, even though I haven't been that long, I would say maybe because it was a hotel, it was a bit more organized. They have more staff to do everything for you. Here I see a lot of, everybody has to do everything. So one person, let's say, would be in charge of the HR, in charge of the sales, in charge of the accounting, in charge of everything. So that's a lot more responsibility on one person. Whereas I feel maybe in a bigger location where they have more staff, everything is more divided, a bit more organized. In terms of cooking, they all have their different styles. They both have different techniques. Teams are very nice in both places. After Montreux Jazz Cafe, I realized I wanted to work in restaurants because I just had a more drive towards the hot kitchen. I wanted to learn more towards that. And I think this is a very nice place to learn, because the chefs really work with you on a personal level. If you're doing something wrong, they're gonna stop you right there. They're gonna explain why what you're doing is wrong, and they're gonna let you continue. I think that's one good thing about restaurants as well. And other than that, not much of a difference as yet. Just organization, I would feel. Okay, so any advice that I would give would be, just be open about it. And by open, I mean don't have too many expectations when you come. Have certain, obviously, but don't expect weird things out of nowhere. But when you do get to the locations, wherever your team or restaurant may be friendly towards them. Communicate well. That's very important, because you're in a smaller restaurant, so everybody's more tight-knit, everybody's closer together. I mean, you're seeing them in the morning, you're seeing them the last thing when you're sleeping. So be open, communicate well. Do remember to send an email to your kitchen team before you arrive. Ask them all the questions, like apartment, working hours, all of these kind of important stuff, so that you have at least in your head some mental preparation. And and just be accepting to whatever work they give you, honestly, because at the end of the day, you're coming into their working space, and they're giving you their piece of space. And because Belgium doesn't pay, but they give you the places to stay, so sometimes you're living above the restaurant or inside the restaurant, right? So be grateful for that as well. But just be friendly. New fresher people, are you ready to go on your internship? So join Master Talent and support SheBites.
So I just finished interviewing KRITI, guys. It was actually really nice and really successful.
Yes, it was very successful.
Now we're going to eat.
Because I'm so hungry. You don't eat, you forget to eat when you cook for other people.
True.
Testing. Moyo. I bet you thought I was Moyo. What stupid car.